Again, my name is Larry Sherman. I'm a solutions architect here at Reiko, and Doug Bunshoes will be my partner on today's presentation. Briefly on the agenda, we'll talk briefly about Reiko and Reiko Interactive, and the bullet points that Woody discussed: improve driver behavior and safety, increase customer service levels, vehicle maintenance, control costs, increase productivity, improve vehicle utilization, and again, as we discussed, we'll save some time at the end for questions and answers. About Reiko Industries, go back about many years ago, we started a website called Track My Vehicles. And since that period of time, we've seen the cost, like in electronics and technology, follow a very similar path. Initially, the devices cost thousands of dollars. It required professional installation, and the back-end service platforms were adequate, but nothing like we have today. As we move forward to today's technology, devices cost under $200. The monthly service is dollars a day, and the platform's now very robust, providing lots of information. And Reiko, again, is based here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We were founded in 1988. We're an integrator of handheld and wireless mobility solutions, GPS tracking, field service. An example of that would be we do a dumpster maintenance and repair inspection application. Doesn't sound exciting, but if you look around, there's a lot of dumpsters in today's world. Field service, delivery applications like delivering nursery items to retail stores like Kroger's and Lowe's, and a yard management solution designed for distribution centers, food processing, and food distribution areas. We also have a group that does custom development, professional services, and a very robust data services program. So, we found out statistics is that motor vehicles crashes are the leading cause of occupational fatalities. They account for 1/4 of all fatalities. That's from the industry group in the insurance industry. So basically, one of the things that we found out to improve driver behavior and safety, there's many ways to accomplish that. One way is through an overt device will adjust some bad behaviors immediately. If you know you're being tracked, you know you're being watched, obviously it will affect behavior. And then a covert device, something that maybe is not known, more clandestine, will also help separate the good from the bad, because you'll be able to then look back on statistics and information to look at driver performance based on a few criteria, which we'll show you here. We also have speed alerts, routes, geofencing, etc. I think, Doug, why don't you show some of these people some of these speed alerts look like, please?
Okay, thanks, Larry. As we pop up our platform here, we can go into our vehicles and we can set all kinds of alerts that will help manage our workforce. As Larry discussed, we can do excessive speed alerts, geofence alerts, unauthorized use alerts. And once we create these alerts, we can either have them emailed or just show up in reports. So an example of an email message you might get for a geofence in and out report would be like this email here I have showing on my screen.
Thanks, Doug. So we go back to, again, other things that we can do is obviously talk about unauthorized usage, as you can create basically these virtual windows as well as these reports that can come to you either in a report structure that you can look at after the fact, or real-time email alerts sent to your phone or your desktop. Basically when you're out there, you look at it, you basically have a driving billboard out there in the environment. That vehicle out there with your name on it represents your company and is seen by more people than you could probably imagine. Basically, by adding some of these features, we can basically put you in the driver's seat of your own vehicles. The next thing is increase customer service levels. Customer service, for most experts, differ on the value, but everybody agrees in whole that it's very important. So one of the advantages of having a GPS system is precise location of every vehicle. As you can see here on a platform that we're going to bring up, if you're in a dispatch environment and you get a customer service call about the expected delivery or service provided, basically your dispatch person has the ability to basically go onto the live platform real time and identify the location of any one of your vehicles.
So in our platform we have a tracking test here, and you can either type in an address of your customer
I'm sorry, go to the routing tab.
You can either type in an address of your customer or choose a location and hit locate, and it will find as many drivers close to that location as possible. And then if you hit the directions tab, it will give you turn-by-turn directions. Now I'm going to pop up to our tracking tab. So on our tracking tab, this is where you're going to see all your vehicles in real time being tracked.
So as we discussed, if you're looking for a precise location of any individual vehicle, you can click on that particular vehicle, click on the map, and immediately take you to that location. If you left click on that vehicle, it can give you more information about the particular current location, any pertinent information about the driver. You can actually go into Google Street View and actually see the physical location or live tracker or zoom in. So once you identify the customer service request, with just a couple quick clicks of the mouse, you can drill down and provide a lot of customer service details rather rapidly and respond to your customers' requests, which we all believe will give you a positive vision from the clients. Many other things we also do is provide proof of service. You know, if you're a landscaping company or a lawn care company and the client calls and questions, have you been there to provide that service? We, again, have the ability to go back and look at either a variety of reports or a variety of on-screen applications to help you support your investment into your GPS. You can see here on the report that Doug has brought up, this is called a geofence entry and exit report. Many of our clients will geofence their customers' locations, and this report gives them the ability to very detailedly look at the complete activity of a particular event. As you can see, Unit 1 assigned to Chuck Thompson, you can see he actually started from Chuck's house. You know exactly what time of day he started his day, and then you can see he drove to the first location, as you can see on the platform, is a dealership not far from his location. You can see the amount of time as well as the miles he traveled. Again, also gives you the ability from an accurate billing and record-keeping perspective. We have clients that basically pay actual miles when it comes to their expenses, and we found out that if you take your customers' information on the amount of miles, statistics has shown us that traditionally when you allow your employee to report the miles, that the actual miles tend to be 20% less than the miles given to you by your employee. So by having the actual mileage report available, you can then audit your expenses or audit your incoming invoices. This can be a very powerful tool in managing your environment and saving your company lots of money. Next thing we're going to talk about is the importance of vehicle maintenance records. We believe if you take a proactive approach to maintenance that you will end up with fewer possible breakdowns and repairs. So a common use for a vehicle maintenance would be obviously tracking oil changes, tire rotations, transmission fill-ups. We also found out here that it also allows you to better schedule and coordinate with your service department or your third-party service department on your requirements. As you see here, this is a vehicle maintenance history report, and Doug kind of showed how this is built together.
So you can set up your maintenance schedules in the platform, and then each time you have a service done on your vehicle, you would input a record into the platform, and then you can track it. As you see here, I have a maintenance schedule for a 3-month service for oil change and tire rotation. So as this gets done, we put in a record for each and a cost for each, and then you can help track the cost of maintaining your vehicles.
We've also found out by another GPS advantage is if or when an incident occurs, the GPS enables you to dispatch both the nearest maintenance department as well as the most appropriate vehicle to pick up that delivery or shipment and replace it back into the cycle. So by having the GPS built into the device, it provides you another level of customer service to ensure that you're in compliance with your requests for your clients. The next area we found to be very helpful in your business using GPS is how to control costs and increase productivity. Many people find this to be the most important individual tool they would use on a daily basis to increase the productivity out of their fleet. Driver downtime, minimized overtime requests. In many cases, because the platform tracks idle times, you can actually find out directly the amount of time a driver has been driving a vehicle as opposed to the amount of time maybe a driver is not driving this vehicle. And again, we've already touched on the actual mileage report where statistics have shown that your drivers will be 20% on the high side in relates to the actual mileage ends up being 20% less. That over the cost of a fleet can be in some cases thousands of dollars we've seen with some of our clients. Reduce wear and tear and maintenance costs. We talked about a couple of those things in the past, but again, if the driver knows he's being watched and knows he's being monitored, they tend to be more responsible for the vehicle. And Doug talked about some of the other earlier reports out there. We also have on our platform the ability to monitor high-speed braking, rapid acceleration, high aggressive left and aggressive right, and other driver performance type issues that you can use to impact the performance of your fleet and ensure that the drivers you have on your payroll are in compliance with the standards that you set for your employees. Potential savings in insurance companies is something that we suggest you ask your current carrier, because we've seen through statistics that if you install GPS tracking and install driver performance and install a series of benchmarks and guidelines, that some and many insurance companies will give you a discounted insurance rate because of your controlling your driving force and giving them more details. Doug, why don't you go down and show us a couple of the detailed driver reports that we have available on the platform.
Okay, so this is a detailed driver's report, which will show pretty much every time the unit reports in, we will have a record here, whether it be the unit is stopped, it's idle, it's moving, or whatnot. You see here it is color-coded so that you can kind of tell the difference in the reports. It gives you lots of information, like the location of the unit, the speed, the distance traveled, and fuel usage. And then if you click on the lat long out here, it'll take us to a nice Google Map representation of where the unit is. We also have some nice mileage reports. As Larry discussed earlier, that a driver reporting mileage, there could be some discrepancies there. We have accurate mileage reporting that can help you cut costs in that area.
As we discussed, the platform has a variety of reports. Doug, why don't you briefly go out there and show them the series of reports that are available in the basic platform. We found for the majority of our clients that one or many of these reports will be able to help them display all the data they've collected. As you can see from the general category, there are numerous available reports in the platform at no additional cost, as well as lower in the platform you can see some of the maintenance information that you can track, both maintenance information on when to do a service, but also we track historical information so you can look back in the history of that particular vehicle. And then we have some other things in there on points of interest, on geofences, and things on security as well for you to set up. So again, the platform as it stands today is a very robust platform and has many of the features that are built into some of the more higher cost platforms that are available.
And along with our reporting features here, we have a way to subscribe to the reports so that when you come in your office in the morning, you can have the previous day's reports already emailed to your email account.
And that's a great service. We have many customers who in many cases aren't at the same location their drivers are. They come in the morning, immediately in their inbox, they can look at a series of reports and look at the status of their fleet from a maintenance perspective, from a driver perspective, and then by early in the morning they have a pretty good summary of yesterday's activities in preparation for providing today's services. One of the last areas that we found is in improved vehicle utilization. And again, a lot of these subjects tend to cross over between some of the screens we talked about earlier. But again, improved record keeping, driver vehicle types, route planning, decreased personal usage. One of the things that our clients find most useful is the unauthorized usage feature within each individual vehicle. An example would be, that your vehicles are allowed to travel from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. If that vehicle is driving on the road on weekends or off service hours, you'll also get an email alert or to your cell phone or to your platform indicating that a vehicle is being used unauthorized. Also, we use a very low-cost device called an LMU 2000. Doug, I think you may have a picture of that somewhere. As we discussed earlier, the majority of our clients self-install this device. This device here plugs into the ODV2 diagnostic port in most vehicles available since 1997. I literally laugh because it takes actually more time to open the door and lay on the floor than it does to install the device. This device has a battery in it. So as a result, if your driver wants to not take advantage of the system and he unplugs the device, again, with the battery in there, it immediately sends a signal to the platform that vehicle 1234 is disconnected with their GPS device. You then have the ability to understand that an unauthorized service usage or something overt is taking place in your vehicle. Kind of a nice feature. We found it to be very helpful. And other things that we talk about is that, having the information available in the platform. You can review and analyze historical data. It allows you to also, with all the maintenance and history and the driver performance, extend the life of your fleet. And we found as a subsequent result that many of our clients have been able to reduce the total number of vehicles because when you increase the utilization, you find out that you may need less than you currently have. And anytime you can do more with less, I think is good in today's environment. And obviously having the platform and having the data does allow you to perform post-route analysis to ensure that they're using the most efficient route and staying within the routes within the criteria that you set up. With that, I'd like to open up the floor to any possible questions or answers that you may have. Woody?
Okay, Larry, got a question for you. Let's see, other than speed alerts, how else can I determine driver behavior?
Great question, thank you. Again, a lot of things we're talking about is through a geofence. An example would be we have one of our clients who does services for transporting people and they have a large vehicle. He realized that that particular driver's fuel costs were higher than most. He suspected the driver was going home for lunch frequently. He geofenced his house and found out that his suspicion was correct, that his driver was driving into his home on a daily basis for lunch with their handicap accessible vehicle, causing his gas fuel mileage to be twice that of the average driver. Again, through a geofence or through a landmark and other subsystems, you can actually help real-time control your drivers being unauthorized locations. We also discussed rapid acceleration, rapid braking, hard left, hard right. We also have the ability to set up a geo route. A geo route would be where we actually put a geofence along a road and provide enough quarter mile or so off the highway for fueling that if your driver deviated from the preferred route, again, an email alert would be sounded on whatever platform required. I'm sure if you go in to look at some of the other requirements, there's after usage hours, and I'm sure if you like to spend more time on the platform, we can go through many examples of how we can affect driver performance.
Okay, a couple more questions I already have, and if there's anybody listening who has another question, go ahead and type it in the question section in the window here. We have another question saying, are reports exportable to Excel?
Absolutely. So when we run our reports, we have the ability to save it, and we can do it as a CSV, a PDF, an Excel, a TIFF, or a Word document.
Any other good questions out there, Woody?
Yes. What are the ballpark costs to tracking a vehicle?
That's a very good question. Thank you. As we discussed earlier in the presentation, the current Reiko platform, we provide two types of services or a variety of services. We can track a smartphone. That cost can be as low as $16.95 a month. We can track an asset, which would be simply, a trailer. That can be also $16.95. And based on the number of pings per vehicle, we have very adequate programs that start at $19.95, and our high-end program, our Core Plus program, sells for $24.95. And we're unique where we only require a one-year contract, and we have a very low-cost termination fee. I think one of the things we try to do at Reiko is take the commercialized industry and almost consumerize it so customers can take advantage of a GPS platform for less than maybe they could have years past.
Okay, follow-up to that is how much are the hardware cost, ballpark?
Typically, the LMU 2000 would probably sell in low quantity for around $175. The LMU 3000 probably sells for in a little bit of quantity for about $195. So as we discussed earlier, basically most of the devices, which are self-installable, are under $200.
All right, another question is, will the signal from this device prevent drivers from texting while driving?
Currently, that's not currently on our platform. We are basically grabbing information from the engine itself and from the actual, it has an accelerometer inside the device which does the driving and performance statistics. We don't really have a direct interface to the actual driver interface to any kind of a smartphone or device.
Next question, is there an ROI document that you can provide that can help our team do an analysis on cost benefit?
I do have some documentation. If you would forward your email address in through Reiko, we will try to find an ROI calculator to help you accomplish that task. As we tell people all the time, we're talking about $1 a day. I was talking to one of my landscaping companies, and his average cost of the vehicle with the employees, equipment, he averages to be about $800 a day. And $801 additional to track that vehicle doesn't seem to be overwhelming to him.
Okay, next question. For your program, which internet browser does it work best with? Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Firefox? And are there any conflicting issues?
The platform works on all three of those browsers, and it really doesn't matter which one you use. As you see during this presentation, I've used all three browsers. So there are no limitations on either of them.
As well as you can also visit your platform from your smartphone, your iPad, or your tablet as well. Anything that is web-based, anything that is using a commercial browser is adequate for viewing purposes.
As you see on the screen right now, that is an image of our mobile application on an Android device.
So yes, we do track phones. Right now we track both Android. At this point in time, we currently do not have iPhone support.
Okay, the next question is, can we see the driver when he is driving?
No. Doug?
The platform does support in-vehicle cameras. So if you have a camera in the vehicle, as you're looking at your drivers here, and you click on the tab, there would be a video tab up here, and you would be able to see whatever video is streaming from the vehicle.
So let me correct that. On the current 1995 platform, we don't support videos, but properly equipped with proper information, we can provide that as a feed.
Thank you all very much for your participation in today's event. If you'd like more information on GPS tracking technology and our solution, please contact a Reiko product specialist at 1-800-446-1991. Again, thank you all for attending. Have a great day.